Hello everybody and welcome to this breakdown playthrough for 5 holes in Pro Division. We are featuring hole 1, 3, 5, 7 and 9. I'm going to give you key adjustment for these holes to help you both play a safe round so you don't make mistake and lose an unnecessary shot, and also to give you a couple of holes where we do feel that you will have a very good possible drop opportunity. The video here is sponsored by Golf Clash and Playdemic, and before we start, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Also visit golfclashtommy.com for more Golf Clash related content for free. Last but not least, get ultimate tournament guides from patreon.com/golfclashtommy. We will obviously adapt for the wind changes and cover all the holes there, linked directly in the description down below. And please, I want to know what you think of these type of playthroughs where it's more direct. And a big reason why we do this is because the wind will not be the same throughout the whole tournament, and that's why I've been cherry picking the holes that I do feel is going to be most beneficial to show you and get you the help that you need. Obviously, if you have a question about any other type of hole, comment in the comment section below or send in a ticket to the send an email to support@golfclashtommy.com. Can we get this video to 300 thumbs up? That would be very kind. And to make that very, very clear, I will be back with a new breakdown playthrough in opening round to just adapt to when the wind changes. Let's go to hole number 1. We will start by looking into hole number 1, and here I do believe there is great value in playing with a power 3 ball. A Kingmaker is preferred, but it's not a must. We could play with a Titan as well, but the side spin 3 definitely brings more value to the Kingmaker. You can see that I'm using 4 bars of topspin only, and then obviously as much side spin to the right possible. Red ring by the rough line to the right and blue ring by the rough line at the top. And my plan here is not to go for green or trying to push it as close to green possible. It's because I do have a plan where I want us to find complete minimum distance with our short iron for the second shot. Final piece of the puzzle, use the right side of the ball to just crack the adjustment ring to the right. And then we will see our ball fly away, and with a great left you will be close to the rough. You will still be managing not go into the rough though, as it slopes slightly left to right. 352 yards, it's a good yardage. So minimum distance, you can see here we are just in minimum distance of our short iron, and that is the position that we are looking to use all the time. The only thing that you should do is to use a little bit of side spin to correct it in terms of the wind angle. Like you can see that we're playing in almost dead straight headwind, so if you do have a little flicker of the wind angle to the left or to the right, use the side spin to correct that, either a little left spin or a little right spin depending on where you end up. It could also be that you need a little bit of topspin if you do have a very short drive, because the value in being in minimum distance all the time is that the adjustment for the second shot is going to be the same all the time. So we only adjust for minimum distance minus 10% elevation, and then we will drop that one every single time with a perfect. So a simple one for hole 1, an absolute key hole to start here with a drop. And for the qualifying round, the game makers are giving us a tough wind, which is preventing us from going to the green. And then I do believe once again that there is more value in layup. Have a short iron in minimum distance all the time instead of having a wedge, sometimes in max distance, sometimes in mid distance, sometimes in minimum distance, which would create a confusion in terms of getting the adjustment dialed in, because now we need to be quick, we need to adapt, and we need to get this one to drop as fast as possible. So here you have the eagle shot here for hole number 1. We do jump to hole number 3, which in my opinion is a key hole in terms of we need to get the eagle, and it's very easy to miss out the eagle here by making a bad drive. I will be starting with 2.5 bar top spin, 2 bars of side spin to the left, red ring by the rough line, and then we will adjust maximum distance plus 10 And once that is done, you will have to go with approximately 1.5 ball of curl outside the adjustment ring to the left. We're gonna bounce on the fairway and we're gonna get this ball up to as close to the top left corner possible. The closer we are, the better it's going to be. And I will take this drive again because I want you to look at the ball guideline position here. So you add the spin first, second bounce basically just before the rough, and the ball guideline going into the bunker. So I want you to look at the red ring combined with the ball guideline's position. And why do I want you to do that then? It's because depending on what level of quarterback you're having, you may be looking into a different starting position with your red ring in terms of plus yardage, but also you can use the red ring by the rough line in many different spots there, and you will then need the ball guideline to find the absolute correct position so you're not playing the shot and you go into the rough because you are too much to the right or you're too much to the left. And I'm using a power 5 ball here. Why? The reason that is to simplify the second shot even if I make a terrible drive. Like, let's say that I, by mistake, go too short. I might make an over adjustment and go short with my drive. I still want to be able to reach without having to overpower my second shot. But for those of you feeling comfortable with playing this drive here, use a power 4 or even a power 3 ball, as you will have tailwind for the second shot and you should be making that ball to green anyway. Second shot, I play with the wood club that gives me the most power, once again to make sure that I will be reaching to the spot by the fairway without having any issues. You can see that I'm using 5 bars of backspin, but look at my aiming. Do I aim at the pin? No. Why? The reason why is because I feel that going for the pin is going to be too risky for the potential reward. Dropping this shot going at the pin is very difficult, and it has always been. And as this is the win that we're having only for the qualifying round, we will need to play this one safe, in my opinion, to make sure we get the eagle and we're not going to get into the rough or into the sand because we're getting too frisky and going too aggressive towards the pin. So hole 3 is key, in my opinion, because it gives you way of separate yourself from your opponents, because this needs to be an eagle, but you will see many of your opponents making a birdie because they make, most of the cases, a terrible drive. We move on to hole number 5, which I personally consider be one of the better drop chances that we do have here in a pro division in the qualifying round. I'm using 2 bars of side spin to the right, half a bar of top spin. We are in complete maximum distance, and my tip here is to use the driver with the most power, as the power will help you from staying away from using overpower on your drive. And I'm going to go into overpower in just a bit. Adjust maximum distance +5, power 3 ball settings. We use curl to the right, we move to the right until the ring cracks, and then we go with 1.5 ring of overpower with an extra mile level 7, 330 yards, okay? So, when it comes to overpower, extra mile level 7 has 234 yards, which is the same as Apocalypse level 4, and there you need 1.5 ring of overpower. Playing with a driver like the extra mile level 8 or Apocalypse level 5+, you don't need any overpower whatsoever. Going down, and if you play with drivers that has 231 yards of power, which is, and 232, which is Thor's hammers, lower level extra mile, you will have to go up to 2 rings of overpower instead. Make sure that you, once you have added a spin, you look at the ball guidelines, so it goes straight down the fairway. From 330 yards, now we're going to take a look here, because now we're going to have an adjustment that will be very interesting. We're playing with a Grizzly level 7, so from 330 yards, we're going to take a look at the shot. I want you to use the blue ring by the rough line. And in this case, we will be playing with the, as said, blue ring by the rough line with 3 bars of backstring, which means that the ball guideline will be just to the pin. Okay? So we have a 7.5 miles per hour. And you will notice that I will play this with 10 rings. And 10 rings is a total of, we're gonna see that, sorry, with 10 rings is a total of 88% slider, 25% over adjustment, okay? I want you to play with 10.2 rings, which is going to be, in that case, 92% slider, 25% elevation. And for those that are using the Grizzly level 7, and in that case are not using slider, you're using the, in that case, maximum distance, and you deduct 0.2 rings to your adjustment. A lot of numbers and stuff, and please don't hesitate to ask if you do have questions. So, from 3-3-0 with your drive, you play blue ring by the rough line with 3 bars of backspin, ball guideline to the hole, and you then adjust for 92% slider, 25% over adjustment. And then that will not be just going left, then that will most likely be dropping for you. This is, in my opinion, one of the key holes, and reason I do think this is a key hole is because I do believe amongst the rest of the holes that this is one of the better chances to get a drop, and if we're gonna get an extra drop in the qualifying round, I do believe this is going to be highly likely one to get. So once again, adjustment from 330 yards with your drive, you adjust for 92% slider and using 25% over adjustment. And the reason I missed left here is because I only use 88% slider instead of the 92 that is needed. So there you have it, hole number 5. For hole number 7, which will be the only par 3 featured here of the key holes, is the one when we do have a slight southeast wind. And I'm going to start with a power 3 ball here. A Kingmaker is preferred because we do want to have wind below 6.5 miles per hour. I'm using complete minimum distance and red ring by the rough line, and I'm then using, in that case, 0.2 backspin, half a bar of side spin to the left. I do adjust 5.9 rings here, which in my opinion is a little bit too much. And you're gonna notice that the reason it is too much is because we will be missing to the left, okay? So the thing that I want you to do is to keep the spin. So we do want to keep the half a bar of left spin and 0.2 backspin, but we want to change the adjustment to minimum distance, 15%, power 2 ball numbers. That would give us 5.7 rings, which would make us have the ball come more right, and I do believe that would give that ball a very good chance to drop. However though, this is a tough par 3. Like the other 2 par 3s, it's very difficult to get some consistency on those, and I do believe as we can use the minimum distance line here in the qualifier with this hole, and using that to have a clear reference and then only to try to tweak the adjustment, I do believe this will be the one that we will drop the most of the par 3s, and also say this will be the one that we have the best chance with. To go back with and look at the ball, I'm using a Kingmaker. Do you need a Kingmaker? As explained before, we do want to have 6.5 miles per hour as most. So if you are low on Kingmakers and you may see yourself having a 4 or 5 miles per hour with a Kingmaker, change to a Titan. Again, you need to have 6.5 or less in wind is what I want you to have. So switch around between the Titan and the Kingmaker, and don't spend Kingmakers when you don't need to. So hole number 7, in my opinion, a key hole here with a good chance to getting a drop. So the last of the holes that we're going to take a look at is hole number 9, and the reason I want to choose hole number 9 is because this could be where you go through, or where you, in that case, maybe get yourself a good tiebreaker, because this is a par 5 that is very difficult, and I'm going to start by starting just before the plus 1 yard mark with my extra mile level 8. Those of you playing with an extra mile level 7 or Apocalypse level 4 for that matter will be starting at the plus 2 yard mark, as you have a difference of 2 yards on your driver. You can check out the club page, golf-tommy.com/clubs, to get an info on your drive and compare it with other drivers. Getting the ball down as far down the fairway possible, the closer to the rough the better, but obviously we don't want to push it too hard to so we roll into the rough. Maximum distance plus 10 is the adjustment for the drive. Second shot, we are only going to look for transport the ball down the fairway, and then we do need power and we do need topspin. So here I'm using 6.5 bar topspin, no side spin whatsoever, and I'm looking at my ball guideline to see it being straight down in between the rough on the left and the rough on the right. Adjustment here will be a maximum distance with no elevations, no elevation here at all, and the only thing I'm looking for is to get the ball down the fairway and to have an open shot towards the pin. So even though this may look like a simple shot, very important that you focus so you're not clipping the rough by mistake or something like that. I'm using overpower, 4 rings of overpower here, as we are having headwind, and headwind is tough, and obviously we hope come later down the tournament that it will change to a different type of wind. Getting the ball down, we're into the shadow here, and now we have still some work down to do, and the work we're gonna have to do is our short iron. Here we need to estimate how far we have towards the pin. I'm looking for the top of the white ring in relation to where the pin stands. If you are having the white ring 2 rings from the pin, or like 2 green squares from the pin is easier to say, then you should be adjusting for 82% slider, no elevation. Unfortunately, I only go with 80% slider here, and you will see me miss just barely on the right hand side, which means that this shot is under adjusted. So 82% slider is needed, and with no elevation, no spin, it's going to be a good shot for you making an eagle on this hole. And even though it's a short iron, it's not an easy one, but if you do get the eagle here on hole 9, there is definitely an advantage compared to your opponent. So everyone, thank you so much for watching this new type of playthrough here on the channel. We are featuring hole 1, 3, 5, 7 and 9 here to give you a mix of, okay, we need to have a safe route here so we get the eagle on this par 5, we need to have a drop opportunity here, and obviously these holes might not be featured in the opening round playthrough, but I will be back during the opening round once we have taken a look at the wind to give you the latest here, to give you another breakdown playthrough, to give you the possibility to pump up your score in a good way. So in the end though, this video is sponsored by Golf Clash and Playdemic, and let us know in the comment section below what you think about this type of playthroughs. Small, like shorter, smaller, but more direct. Get the ultimate tournament guides, which obviously will feature all the holes on patreon.com/golfclashtommy, and we will adapt for the wind changes. Thank you so much for watching, and a massive good luck in the qualifying round of the Stateside Classics tournament.